Hi, Nikki Chambliss, Realtor here. And I just wanted to share one of many videos to come, just with little tidbits of information. There are going to be various things I share, mostly about real estate. Some may just be about what's going on in general, but it's all going to be related to how it might impact you and your world in real estate, your home. So today, the big question that, of course, is on everyone's mind, and it's generally a big question at any point in time, right? Is when is a good time to buy, right? Um, so the first, most accurate answer that I can give you is it depends. And it really does, because each person's situation is so individual that any blanket answer is not going to be exact for you, okay? Now, I'm going to give you more than just that, right? I'm not going to leave you with it depends. See you later. It's been nice knowing you. I wouldn't do that to you. But that is the most accurate answer, okay? Beyond that, there are a few things to think about. And these are things to think about regardless of the economy, because they're questions that are going to make the difference for you. The first question is, do you want to buy a home? A backup to that and a less desirable option is, do you need to buy a home? I would hope that if you need to buy a home, then you also want to, but that is not always the case, okay? And again, this is one of those things where it is such an individual circumstance. It is really personalized to you, your situation, your job, your work, your life, your likes, your dislikes, your debt load. There are just so many variables, right? So do you want to buy a home? And if your answer is, nah, not really, then you know what? Now is not a good time to buy a home for you, is it? Why would you? There's no reason there. Now, if you're not sure, if you're like, well, I don't really know, I don't know if I want to buy a home, then okay, let's keep talking. Are you financially able to buy a home? And that question is dependent on your personal circumstances. It's also based on perception. If you think that your job is stable, that's a good sign, right? If you've been working at your place for many years and whatever is going on in the economy at any given time, you don't feel is going to negatively impact you in the near future, that's great. What is your debt load? That's going to factor into, are you financially able to purchase a home? And goodness gracious, don't forget those student loans. Don't we all wish we could? I mean, I have them. I'm glad I have them. I love my schooling. I love my education. I could probably be a full-time student and be very happy. I like learning. It's fun. It's challenging. It's always new. So don't forget your student loans in that factor. A lot of times people don't factor that in, and depending on the type of financing that you have or need, those weigh in different options, okay? Do you plan on making any other big purchases between now and when you might buy a home? That's going to impact your financing. Okay, there's so many things, and those are things to get into in more detail with a loan officer. So I'm a realtor. That's my licensing. That's what I study for. That is what I do day in and day out, 40 plus hours a week. Okay, it's my career, my passion. I know a lot about the other things surrounding my realtor license, but I am not an expert in those areas. And I'm not going to claim to be, I'm not going to try to be, because there are some really awesome people who are. And so I'm going to have you talk to them. So first question, we're through. Do you want to buy a home? Do you have the financial ability to buy a home? Now that question a lot of times is going to be an I don't know until we've had a conversation and we've gotten through a loan officer process. But the biggest part, especially right now, is do you feel like your job is stable right now? Because there are a lot of people out there right now that it's not. I have friends right now that are just waiting to lose their work right now. And that's scary. It's not fun. This isn't something that anyone would have wished on anyone else. I would hope. I wouldn't wish this on anyone. Certainly not the entire world, right? The upside of that is that the people that I personally know that are struggling, I know they're resilient. I know that they will get through this, and we're all working together to do that, okay? So if you've answered those two questions and you feel like, okay, this might work, a lot of the other questions is, what about, oh my gosh, what if the home prices drop? What if the market value drops? That happens. Look back in history, and there are a lot of really great options for seeing that. I'll look and see if I can't find a good link to share. The real estate market ebb and flows. The market in general has an ebb and flow, and they're not exactly the same. We don't know what's going to happen. Right now, things are looking pretty steady. There's a small slowdown due to some fear or due to personal safety and health. So there's two sides of that. People who have immune compromised systems, any at high risk, are a little hesitant to have people in their homes to see it, to buy. And that's very understandable. Once this passes, that'll be a whole different story. And we'll be back in full force for that. But you're not buying a home to play the market. I can't recommend that. It would not be a good idea. If you are buying a home as a long-term purchase, and I would say at least plan for 7 to 10 years, okay? Because you want to be able to have this be a very long-term, large purchase, whether you're putting a down payment in or not. In 7 to 10 years, you've paid down a lot of interest. You're now starting to pay down some of that principal. There's a lot that goes into this. This is not a one-year decision. And if it is for you, then that's a completely different conversation to have. And that is a one-on-one conversation to have, okay? So that's not going to be what we're doing here right now. So those 3 things: do you want to buy a home? Are you financially able to buy a home? And is this a long-term purchase? Those are your 3 most important things to factor truly at any point. If you are outside of that norm, if you are an investor, or if you're a builder, or you're just trying to find something really cheap, this is not your normal thing. I'm speaking to most people who want to buy a home, who are looking for a place to live for a while. And I think those are the people I'm still working with. Those are the people that are out there looking for homes right now, because people are. There are still homes being listed daily. Homes, plural. And there are even more that are looking to buy. There are still multiple offers and competitive purchasing going on right now. So if you are looking, there are realtors out here who are continuing. For me, I am doing things virtually. I am doing virtual buyer appointments. I'm doing virtual listing appointments. And yes, that is different, but it's incredibly doable. I'm doing virtual open houses and virtual house tours. If you're not sure if the home is the one that, oh my gosh, this could be the one, let's do a virtual tour first. I'm going to have a conversation with that listing agent, and I'm going to make sure that there's not an offer on the table that's being decided and it's not time sensitive. Once things become time sensitive and urgent, that's a whole nother ball game. Then we need to be ready, right? But until that point, let's go virtual and let's keep everybody safe and healthy. If you have any questions from this, please feel free to shoot me a message or make a comment. And I hope you are doing well. Till next time.